Managing Docker from terminal is very powerful, but also a little bit painful. I used to juggle lots of Docker commands in order to keep my containers afloat until I found the Portainer. In this video, I'm going to show you how I turn my Docker chaos into a clean visual dashboard where I can monitor, deploy a stack, remove or add any container. Whether you are self-hosting or creating your own lab, this is a game-changing software you didn't know you need. Let's dive in. Welcome back, Voyagers. Today we're going to check out what Portainer is, how it can help you, what kind of feature does it hold. So for those of you who saw the Authentik video already, just wanted to give you a heads up that you can attach and integrate Authentik with the Portainer. And you can see here that I do not need to log in with the username and password to my Portainer, and I can use OAuth to basically log in into it. I'm just going to use that because it's already well established, and I'm logging in with the account that I have in the Authentik, and I'm not going to go deeper as of now, but at the end of the video, I'm going to get back to this point and basically tell you how you can do this integration. Anyway, so when I'm logging in, I can see an environment, a Docker environment, and you can have different environment, Azure, Kubernetes, Podman, and so on. I do have my Docker environment or Docker socket attached into the Portainer. And when I do a live connect, I can go to the dashboard and see I have 8 stacks, 20 images in total with 6.2 gigabytes of my storage that it's getting. I have 18 container running, and I have total of 18 container, and all of them are running. None of them are unhealthy or healthy for that sake. So it means that I need to work on my health checks even more. I have a couple of volumes attached, networks, and I can explore all of these things, and this is really interesting. So as an example, since I have already mentioned Authentik, so these are my stacks, and if I go to my Authentik stack, I can see the containers related to that stack. So just try to make you make a picture for you. So when you write a docker-compose YAML file, and you put down in there at least one service, and when you spin that, you are running a stack. But that stack could contain one to many containers and services inside. So this, for example, Authentik stack is one Docker Compose file, but it consists of 4 different services. There's a one Postgres database in it, one Redis database in it, one server, and one worker. And this is how Authentik works. There are other services could be attached to the Authentik. I'm not getting into that, but this is an example of that container. And I can also show you another stack. For example, most of these are just a single one. So Portainer itself, Traefik, Obsidian Live Sync. By the way, I can put the video up here if you wanted to host your own Obsidian Live Sync and you don't want to pay a subscription. You can do that. I have been using it for a couple of months, and it's fine. It's good. I don't have any problem with it. It takes about 2 to 3 seconds to sync whenever you open up the app. But that's about it. Anyway, I'm working on a Nathan project. That's aside. I want to show you this one. So this is one of the most sophisticated and hard stacks I have worked on. It has so many Dockers working all together. Anyway, so this is the meaning of the stacks. And on the left menu, left side menu, we can see a list of the things that we have saw before. We have seen before, and if I go to containers, I can see all of them. And if they have like a specific ports or anything, I can click on them. What I wanted to show you here, if you go to the template, there are already some built-in templates that you can run locally. So we're going to try one of them. After I demo a couple of these things, I would want to build up the Portainer from the beginning and So yeah, I'm gonna go over each one. We explore a little bit, see what that is. Even if do we really want Portainer? Actually, do we want to do that? Maybe you don't need it, and you don't need to sit all the way and see how it's going to be deployed. You can just see how it's gonna work. So we'll get back to the deployment of the Portainer itself. So for this example, I'm going to choose Caddy, and I'm going to just name it like Caddy-test, and I'm going to choose my network to be Bridge Network, and I'm going to open up the advanced option. I do not want it to listen on port 80 because my traffic is already listening on port 80, and it's going to give me an error. So I'm going to choose 8880, for example, because I know that this one is free. And it's going to project it to or forward it to port 80 inside the container. So that I'm going to leave it like that. There will be a creation of a volume. I do not have any intention of using a volume, but I'm just going to leave it as that because it's just an example. And the good thing is you can also add labels. And that's an amazing thing because if you put some time, you can create a template for your traffic containers. So if you remember, and I can show you right here very quick, the traffic container contains a bunch of labels, and some of them are very repetitive. And you can easily create labels and make them a template. So basically, if I can find my browser back, instead of using a pre-built caddy template, we can choose a custom one. And we can just choose a custom here. And that's going to be really good. I'm actually planning to do that because every time I'm copying all the labels from other containers, from other Docker Compose files, and then I'll try to recreate them and edit them. And then here it's just easier. Although I still very much love terminal and I like to work with it, I like to still keep reminding myself of the commands, and I like to have those commands always with me all the time. But if you're not a fan of that, and visual representation and having a visual dashboard is the way works for you better, you might want to do that. So anyway, let's go ahead and click on deploy the container. So when I deploy it, it says success, container successfully created. And if I could just find it here, caddy test, and this goes to the caddy test, and I can see that the caddy is start working. So that's just an example. And of course, you can just click it here. You can remove it, stop, kill, restart, pause, and so on and so on. And since we're here, I can just, there are a couple of small, let me just try to make this a little bit bigger. So there is this exec console, which I really like. And in exec console, there's also an inspect, which helps us in debugging. In exec console, you can go here and open up a bash or even a shell, because some Docker containers or images, basically, they do not have bash installed. So the only thing that you might be able to get the hands on is a shell. Anyway, so I'm going to open up a bash because I think Caddy is, let's try. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. So I'm just going to connect it, and yeah, there is no bash, unknown. So I'm going to disconnect this. I'm going to open a shell this time. Okay, shell works, right? I can still use ls, and I'm in a serve, so it has been bounded to /serve, and if I run ps, I'm going to see the caddy is running, and so on and so on. And this helps us in debugging from inside, maybe in poking things around. I have a couple of services which sometimes they kind of stuck, and they face an issue where I need to go in, remove a file, and then restart the container, so it triggers a couple of functionalities. Because, well, I don't exactly know line by line how these containers are going to work or how the programs have been written. But we can always still debug. We can always still manually try to trigger the functions and try to get things working. Anyway, I'm going to disconnect this, go back to caddy test, and I'm going to remove this because I don't need it anymore, and automatically remove non-persistent volumes. Yes, remove it. it's done. Um, Taking a look into the images, so this has been installed right now. I have an Nginx and a homepage image, which they are unused. And this is a very good tag because when, well, we can just select them if we don't want them and, well, just remove them if they're just taking space up. I can check out my networks, I can check out the volumes attached, and so on and so on. So going back to the stack, I want to create a new stack. But in this stack, I'm just going to have one Nginx and nothing more. And we will explore later on in further videos about stacks that have multiple services, such as the Authentik or the Cinevolt for me that we saw earlier. So if I click on the create stack, and I'm going to name it Nginx stack test, and then there's a web editor, or I can upload the Docker compose file, and I can show you that I'm going to use the web editor. This one, I'm not going to upload it. And I'm just going to go here, go to my Nginx, open this up, and I'm going to select everything here and paste it here. We want to keep it simple. We want to just try things out, right? So here's my stack, and it only have one services, is Nginx. It's the latest Nginx it needs to fetch, the network working on, and so on and so on. And it has a couple of Traefik label enabled, right? Traefik labels help us how to integrate it with the Traefik itself. So I'm going to check out the rest of the things to see, do I need environment variable? No, I actually don't need for this one. But if I have any end file, I can just attach it here, and I'm going to deploy the stack and see how it works. Stack successfully deployed. I'm just going to copy this IP, type in, and yeah, the Nginx is up. And I can also check to see if it has fetched SSL TLS certificate from the Cloudflare and stuff or not. That's part of the Traefik. Again, I can link it up here and you can check it out, how to set up the Traefik, how to set up your DDNS, and so on and so on. So yeah, the SSL version as well works, and it's fetching SSL TLS certificate, so that's where you can keep your website secure, keep your services or whatever service behind that domain secure. So that's also a way to create your containers. And I just created a stack. And next section, so if you liked this video till here, please like and subscribe, and comment down below what you're thinking. In the next section of this video, I'm going to build the Portainer from the beginning and show you how it's going to be built. And we'll take it from there. And that's about it. So this video is much lighter, let's say. And it's very easy to deploy. See you in the next section. So in this section, we're going over line by line of the code and docker-compose YAML file. So here we have a single service, which is the Portainer. We are getting the live long-term support LTS version, and then we are putting the restart policy to always. So whatever happens, an error or it stops, or if the computer restarts, it keeps on restarting unless we stop it manually. And then the network's going to be on my front end, which is the Traefik network, whatever Traefik is working, because I want to integrate it with Traefik. That's why that's why I'm choosing a network myself. One volume is actually kind of useless. It's just attaching to directory from your host and from to the container, and whatever you put here, it's going to be appearing there. Whatever you edit here, it's going to be appearing there, and so on. So they will be always in sync. These two directory is match. They're having same basically address. It's just for the future. If you are pushing such a thing into a production. Don't add any useless thing. Only add the things that is necessary and you know that you need it. So I know for the fact that I'm not putting anything in the Portainer data directory, but if I want to send something into my container, this would be a nice way to do it. Anyway, I just leave it on because this is all experimental network, and I'm perfecting things as I'm going forward. So right now it doesn't really matter. The other container, on the other hand, it's super important. So that's the only way and how the Portainer container could connect to your Docker. So the /run/docker.sock, which is short for socket, it's a Unix-like Unix socket basically. It's kind of like an API interface to the OS and how the daemon and the Docker client is communicating with each other. And when you attach this file, it's a file. So when you attach this file as a volume like that, the Portainer service could start reading off the Docker daemon and read things through and basically integrate itself to that API interface and be able to read or write to it, execute stuff to it. Well, that's mainly it, and this is one of the most important part of it. The rest, it's for the integration with Traefik. So if you don't have Traefik, you don't want to use Traefik, you do not need to import, basically add these labels. And this part would be fine for you. And you can also choose your own network, create your own network, or even don't define a network. It will create a network for you. For the people who are watching and have their Traefik set up, well, you probably already know that we are enabling Traefik like this in the first label. And then we are mentioning what kind of network are we using. In our Traefik, we are defining our host. So this will be the domain to my Portainer. The web going to be enabled for that, which is HTTP, and then I'm defining a service for that route, for the web route. And then there is a middleware where it redirects any HTTP request to HTTPS. And in this way, it would always be secure, even if someone or me, by mistake, try to reach to the HTTP HTTP gateway of the Portainer, it would redirect me back to the HTTPS. And then the endpoint of Web Secure, which is HTTPS, is also enabled. You're again defining the same host for the secure route. And then the TLS is true. The resolver is Cloudflare because my domain is Cloudflare, and I'm going to fetch the SSL TLS certificate from the Cloudflare. And again, the same name for the service for the Portainer secure router. And the last one is the load balancer related label, which is telling the Traefik what kind of port Traefik needs to listen to. So Traefik will listen to port 9000 and forward that traffic, whatever traffic comes to that, to Portainer. And that's about it. I just defined the network down here and volume down here, and that's basically it. And again, we can go back here. We can see different things. And for those who have set up the Authentik, now it's your time. I'm going to show you how to do it. So if you go to the setting and if we open up, where is the, yes, going to authentication, and we click on OAuth, we use SSO. You can use automatic user provision. The user created by automatic provision user can be added to the default team or on creation. And then these are the things that we get from the Authentik. So we need a client ID, we need a client secret, we need authorization URL, the one with the authorize at the end, we need a token URL with a token at the end. The resource URL going to be the one with the user info. And if you go on the question mark icon, it gives you a little bit of detail, and you can figure out, because sometimes the names are not really matching. So here you can see token, and you can figure it out like, okay, so these two are supposed to be matching, but for some of them are not. Anyway, redirect URL will be to the actual domain that we define. And then here is the important part. So user identification will be based on email, and the scope's going to be based on email, OpenID, and profile. And you can do white space separate them. And that's about it. And I'm not going through how to create these things. Of course, you need to go to your Authentik and basically create the apps, set it up, and we have done that in Authentik video. So feel free to watch that, and it shows you how to do it. We have set up Grafana with Authentik in order to see how it works and how it's being integrated. Anyway, I hope you liked it. I hope use Portainer and let me know if it was useful, if it gets you any relief, if it's relieved you of any hassle and stuff. And hope to see you soon again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Wait, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let your friends know if they are into these things, if they are into home labs and stuff. And let me know what kind of things you want me to cover, especially if they are open source, and if they are, if they could be self-hosted. Pretty much willing to self-host them and try them out. So yeah, let me know. Thank you so much for watching this till here, and have a great one. Bye.